Hey YouTube land, I'm back with the Breaking Trauma series talks and basically just sharing my experiences and what I've learned and how I was able to break free from bad traumatic relationships and just trying to help other people get over the burden of pretty much getting your heart broken. And sometimes we waste a lot of years before we can get out of toxic relationships, and that's really disheartening and sometimes hard to get over. And I'm just trying to help more people come back to themselves in that space. So, I just want to touch base on how I was able to get past being stuck in the cycle of the trauma bond, which for me, it was a lot of arguing, getting so mad, letting that person get that reaction out of me to take me out of where I am naturally. Like, an example would be like a pH balance. Okay, so like water has a pH balance, and when it's filled with chemicals and stuff like that, the pH balance goes off the charts and there's no balance. But then when it's rainwater, that's a perfect alkaline, and that's a natural state of water. So you are like a natural state of water, and you operate, just fine, and you get what you need to done, and you're good at maintaining your temper and your control. But then you find yourself in a situation where this person is just pushing your limits, and over time you get sucked into this pattern of just starting to just react every time. It gets so normalized in your head that you start actually thinking like, okay, it's time to go, it's time to try to shut this person up, and it's time to go there. And that's what they want out of you. They want that reaction out of you because it's getting you deeper entwined into the trauma bond. And granted, these people have a sickness of their own, but they're the type of predatory narcissists that it's like the hardest type of mental problem to fix, which comes from arrested development, which happens in the toddler years. So they grow up thinking it's all about me now, because when they were little it never was. And as they were growing up, they were just always told things like, look at everything I did for you, look at everything I gave up for you. Like, they weren't ever really made to feel wanted. So now in their relationships, they just like, the way they feel is a lot of them have double lives, and those are really hard to get through, because when they have a double life going on, they have their family and anyone who will listen, and sometimes even your family, believing that the other life that's going on is how they really are, but they don't actually know how they are with you, because that person only brings their true self onto you in private, because they don't want anybody to see them acting out of character, the character that they've created and have so many people believing. So I'm so sorry, I'm like having trouble with my camera here. I just did this in a hurry because I hardly get to ever make a video now. I'm just so busy. But I really wanted to talk about this because it's a huge issue in trauma bonds, and I think it's just the hardest one to break, because you get into that cycle where you pretty much, it just starts getting normalized that, okay, it's go time, it's time to defend myself, it's time to make this person realize the truth. But that just, it's not going to happen. That's not how, like, it's set up in such a way. It's a great tactic, I must say, because it's set up in such a way that they are engaging with you so that you actually feel like, oh wow, you know, I'm getting attention, which at this point you may just be starving from attention because they never give you any, only when you're arguing. So at this point, like, you know, you kind of just want to take that because it's better than nothing type of thing. But trust me, nothing is better than that. Nothing is definitely better than that, because you can actually get out of this and get into your aloneness. And aloneness is not loneliness. Aloneness is actually the point where you can take accountability and reflect and look back on everything that's happened and be like, oh my gosh, you know, I was really stupid. I need to do better. I need to heal from all of this stuff. Like, I should have never been letting a person take me from 0 to 90 in 2 seconds because they just had you that conformed to the abuse, and you were just falling into it. Meanwhile, they keep getting everything they want every day, and you keep getting more toxic. So you're the one that starts looking crazy, because remember, a lot of them have double lives, and they're telling people that you're crazy, and now they actually got you acting crazy. So that's a big trap that I've been in, and the only way to escape it is to just let it go. Stop trying to prove your point or change their mind. That's definitely not going to happen. Doesn't matter how good of an argument you have. It doesn't matter how much of the truth you're telling. They have their own truth in their head, and that's the truth, and that's what they believe, and that's it. And that is just absolutely it. And so anyways, like, we have to stop trying to fall into the manipulation tactic, because all it's doing is keeping you in that relationship, in that trauma bond. But once you take a step back and breathe and say, enough is enough. I'm tired of this nasty energy that's now living in me and coming out of me every time we come face to face, because the trauma bond. It's the trauma bond. And it's the cycle of abuse. And I'm just telling you, nothing is better than that. And you will see that once you take the time to be alone and feel comfortable with yourself. Then you could start healing yourself and listening to your real self. Sorry about that. And then getting back into your routine, a health routine, because that's how we stay healthy. You gotta have your whatever you do in the morning for nourishment, things like that. You start focusing back on yourself again. You're not busy thinking up, oh, what am I going to say to win this argument? And this is actually a good point. And I got him here and I got her there and this and this and that. Just stop all of that. That is exactly how they want you. That is exactly how they keep on controlling you. And you were born for much greater things than to die to that person. And it's time to start living for you and finding out what your purpose is and doing that so that you could feel fulfilled and don't have to be dragged down to HELL on earth anymore and living that scenario out, because that's a waste of time and energy, and that's where it's going to take you. It's going to take you further into that, and you're just going to regret wasting the time. Like, I've seen people who've lived with drug addicts who've just taken everything for so long that there's just nothing left. Like, they won't leave these people for almost 2 decades by the time they do. I'm so glad that they finally did, but you gotta admit to yourself when a pattern is revealing of its own self, especially year after year, especially after a few years, especially more than 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. It's not worth it to waste your life feeling bad anymore. And it's okay to feel good. And all those things that they tell you that you are and want to make you believe about yourself, that's not true, because they don't even know you. You don't even know you. So, they don't even know themselves. That's why they gotta put on this double life, and it's just always a conflict and everything, and nothing's natural, and nothing's a joke. Everything is, I can't believe, like everything is just trying to make you feel like poo, and it's working, and you don't have to waste your life like that. And I'm just here to tell you that, like, I'm here to tell you it's okay to stop dying to the other person and start living for you.